everyone. Thanks for watching Access Hockey MI. We hope that you had a wonderful Christmas holiday time, and we're looking forward now to the new year. Today we're going to talk about Tyler Bertuzzi. And we haven't talked about him yet because we're kind of waiting to see how things shaked out with arbitration. As I think we talked about him a little bit in the beginning of the season, kind of like we wanted to see him have a breakthrough. So we're going to talk about him today just because he's someone we've watched since he's been with Grand Rapids. We've watched him for a very long time. And when he was with Grand Rapids, he was actually the most valuable player in the 16-17 season when they won the Calder Cup. And he showed it. He was out there every night. He was essential to them winning the Calder Cup that year for sure. So we were excited to see him get called up to the Red Wings. A little hurt, but excited as well. Just because we wanted to see all of that success go into the Red Wings and help the Red Wings, of course. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today and kind of how pleasantly happy we are with what we've been seeing lately and what we kind of see as the reasons why.
Yeah, and I'll put the previous video that we did talking about his arbitration and what all that entailed and our thoughts on that. I think we're happy to say that our thoughts were pleasantly surprised just because we were really hoping that it would all come to something, which it has.
Well, and I guess I do want to say first that I was guilty of not fully seeing his success from the time he came up from the Griffins, because I think that now this year it's kind of like, well, where has he been? But if you look at his stats from the last few years, he has been there and he has been producing.
Yeah, he's been hitting almost 50 points per season. So he was out last season with a back injury. So even in the 9 games he played, he had 7 points. But the 2 previous seasons to that where he was healthy, he had 47, 48 points in about 70 to 71 games. That's obviously very good production. And admittedly, for some reason, we didn't see that, and maybe because there was a lot of other stuff going on with the team at the time. So it's like you're not necessarily focusing on the positive, which is
hard to when there's so much shifting going on, and we didn't do too well the last 2 seasons.
Right now, I don't know if you guys were around.
Yeah, right now we're doing pretty okay. I mean, I think that we're holding our own against a lot of really good teams. So it is admittedly hard to see the good when there's so much
going
on.
Steeped in bad. But so far this season, he's averaging almost a point per game. He's at, I want to say, 21 points in 23 games, somewhere around there. At the time of this recording, we're on holiday break, I believe. But even then, I mean, that's obviously already on track to be better than what he has been in his 2 previous healthy seasons. Yeah. So it's an excellent thing to see. It's very encouraging. And we're going to talk about a little bit, too, about the contributing factors to that and just kind of what's inspired that, I think.
Yeah, so one contributing factor I think everyone would agree would be the line mates. So he's frequently, if not always, paired with Larkin and Raymond, who themselves have 20-plus points and 20-plus games played. And it's been amazing to see the 3 of these guys work together and find that chemistry together. And I think they just get each other excited
Can we just appreciate the Red Wings have good rookies?
I mean, it's amazing. I know top 2 rookies, Raymond and Sider. Yeah. I mean, it's so exciting to have this like on our team, to be able to watch it. They're fun to watch again, that kind of a thing. And I think that Bertuzzi in the mix there, and Larkin, of course, because there's Raymond, he would be the rookie here, and then you've got the Larkin and the Bertuzzi season guys there. Yep. And I think that all 3 of them together, you can see based on their points and when they're on the ice, something always happens. Yeah. They're making themselves known even more. And again, these are guys like Bertuzzi and Larkin, they always produce points. Every season they produce points. But I think now they're all kind of getting a star factor to them.
They are.
As a line, they're just like the star line,
the swarthy star line. They've got really good chemistry, and that's not something we've really seen in the last couple seasons with our lines just really clicking.
Yeah, just sometimes when it clicks.
Sometimes you just get guys where they're individually good, but something about that line is just the chemistry just isn't there. And with this particular line, and I think any of these guys could get switched to any place in the roster or in the lineup and do just fine. But with feeding off of each other, they're giving each other that confidence, creating plays for each other. They know how the other person's going to respond. And Larkin himself even said he believes that his game's gotten better because of Bertuzzi and Raymond being with him.
Yeah, and I think that we talk about all the time with prospects in Grand Rapids. When you're playing with other guys who can make you better, iron sharpens iron. That's a hard word to say. Iron sharpens iron. You just get better and better with each game, and especially if you can build on that confidence and build on that chemistry, and that's what they've been doing, and it's just been very exciting.
I think it's cool, too, that they're both, as Larkin and Bert, specifically Bert, obviously, they've been learning off of Raymond, who's the rookie. So it just goes to show, too, that just because you're a vet, you should have that maturity and that awareness to know, like, hey, I can still improve.
Yeah.
And then as far as chemistry in general, it's flowed over into the entire team. So you can see it in how they play. The game is fun again. Bertuzzi, he's just kind of a slap-happy, go-lucky goofball.
And we've always known this about Bertuzzi because we saw him in Grand Rapids. He was always like that. He was the one on the ice when they won the Calder Cup, literally tripping over himself because he was so excited.
Funniest part to watch.
Literally just falls all over himself. And we would always see that in Grand Rapids, and it's good to see that attitude kind of has spilled over again. I don't remember seeing this the last few years from Bertuzzi, so it's nice that he's getting back to kind of enjoying the game and being present for it, and maybe being a new dad is in there, and maybe the arbitration trying to prove himself is in there. But whatever the case is, it's just been great to see.
It's been fun again.
And this is the Bertuzzi we remember.
Right.
And again, it's only like 20-some games into the season, but even so, this early on, and you're seeing this kind of production, this kind of chemistry is very encouraging.
Yeah. Well, and it's not like we're going to go into the new year and go, well, they don't know what to expect. He doesn't know what to expect, so this is going to kind of stifle a little bit. He's a vet. He knows what he's doing. So it's cool to see that, you know what, this pattern and this consistency could continue because he knows the demand's coming up. Yeah. So it's not like he's going to pump the brakes or anything.
Yeah.
And with Bertuzzi, we've also noticed that he's already had the existing talent. He's been a good player. He's been consistent. It's just like we said earlier, maybe not something that we had focused on much, in the last few seasons, and we're guilty of that. But he seems like he's taking more risks, more chances, and I did notice too he's staying out of the box a little bit more.
Yeah, his first couple seasons with Grand Rapids, or maybe just his first season, he gets in your face. He's the kind of player
a lot like his uncle.
He likes to just razz people, and I think that that's part of his play charm. If you want to say it like that, I wouldn't want to play against him. I would not want him on another team.
As an octopus.
I would not want him on another team against me because he is a gritty in your face. He's always getting the puck. He's a go-getter. He's going to annoy you.
Yep.
But that is part of why he is, I think, as good of a player as he is. Because Larkin isn't like that as far as, gritty in your face. He's super skilled. He's super strong.
Yep.
But, Bertuzzi brings this different kind of, gross kind of play.
He is.
In the best way.
He's like a backstreet brawler compared to Larkin's very dignified way.
He's like the Darren McCarty almost.
Yeah.
In your face, he's going to get the points, he's chippy, that kind of thing. And that, I think, is part of his charm.
Yeah, and I think that comes, too, when he's having more fun with it. He's more prone to be like that on the ice. And he is keeping it clean, though, too, where he's not being reckless with it. And I think it's really easy to do with a player like that. Yeah. To kind of cross that line real quick. And he's one of the first to stand up for the guys, and we've noticed this, too, with the team. They're standing up for each other, which is incredible to see. It's huge. But like we said earlier, this is the Bertuzzi we've been needing to see. And after arbitration, it kind of soured, at least for me, it soured a little bit. I always have a hard time with arbitration. Ask me why later. But I have a hard time with it sometimes, and I think it's really cool to see the Bert that we knew in Grand Rapids actually come to fruition in Detroit and be that player that we knew we could be.
And being able to, and not having a stage per se, but having teammates that can kind of come alongside him as well and help him with that and help each other. That's the great thing about hockey. It's a team sport.
It is not a one-man show.
If you see a goal, you're always seeing the person who scored the goal pointing at the assister, and it's the littlest things that make the best plays. And I think that that's something that this line, and Bertuzzi in specific, does really well. So it's very exciting. We're very excited just for, if anything, just to see the growth. Even if they don't continue to the playoffs or whatever happens with the season. It's just been very exciting to see.
We're already in a better place.
A nice team atmosphere and a healthy mindset, I think, even with everything going on with all the switch-ups and changes and call-ups and set-downs, that kind of stuff. I feel like they're in a good mental space. So, that's basically what we think about Bertuzzi.
I don't know if you noticed, he's starring in our video as well.
He's always the bobblehead right there. It's Svechnikov and then Bertuzzi, so very excited.
Evgeny, not Andre.
But Andre's great too.
Yeah, he is.
But let us know in the comments what you think about his play this year, how you've seen him change over the years, maybe his line mates. Who's really exciting you this season? We'd like to hear from you.
Do you think he's worth the money?
Yeah, well, I mean...
And has he proven it to you?
Yeah, because that's what's important. I think that he's been doing great. Let us know again in the comments what excites you most about this season, about this team. And then any other questions that you have down there would be great. We love to read those. And we will see you guys next time.